Hey everybody, and welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we are going to show you which is better, Google Calendar or Apple Calendar. Let's begin. Google Calendar is a free time management and scheduling service that allows users to create and manage events, appointments, and reminders, and it can be accessed via the web browsers or mobile apps for both iOS and Android. Now, Google Calendar is widely used for personal and professional scheduling, and it integrates well seamlessly with other Google services like Gmail, Google Meet, and of course Google Drive. If you wanted to try Google Calendar for your work, you might want to click this option section right here. You can try to create an account for small business or for enterprise. If you click this button, you would be forwarded here, wherein if you wanted to find the right plan, just click this button. But if you want to start your free trial, because if you create an account here in Google, you should have an access to all of these Google services: Gmail, Google Photos, and of course Google Calendar. Now from here, all I have to do is put in all the information as you can and click the next button. Once you have successfully created your account on Google, you should be able to access the Google Calendar on the upper right corner via the Google Apps and Services. Now, one of the key features here is the event creation and management. If you click the event, you can do that by putting in the title. You can add description or add a Google Drive attachment. You can also add Google Meet video conferencing. So these are the reasons why, if you wanted to use Google Calendar, if you are heavily invested to the Google services and the overall Google ecosystem, you can add guests if you wanted, especially for having a, say for example, an event for your team collaboration, which is helpful if you're working with multiple freelancers or maybe an update to your client. If you do that, click on save, you would be noticed that the event has been added here. All right. Now, with that being said, if you click the create button here, you can also add in a task. All right. Similarly, you can add a task. You can add description. You can put in on my task if you wanted. You can click on save so that you will have an option for the reminder later on. Similarly to the here, you can put in an appointment schedule. So you have a title here. You can put the duration for how long should each appointment last. For example, 1 hour, 15 minutes. All right. You can put in the days and scheduling window. And of course, you can also change the dates availability and click on next. If you go to the upper right corner, you can see you can sort it by day, week, month, year, schedule in 4 days. You have this section to switch to calendar or switch to tasks. You have two viable options, which is very handy. Again, you can add tasks if you wanted. And this section, again, if you're heavily invested to the Google ecosystem and Google Apps and Services, it integrates well with other tools. Just hover around here and you have an access to all of these. Google Gmail, Google Drive, Google Photos, and of course, and a lot more. All right. So in terms of the mobile access, if you wanted to create a new list, you can also do this here. All right. Google Calendar has a dedicated mobile apps for both Android and iOS, allowing users to access and manage their schedules on the go. Now, if you go over to our next contender, which is Apple Calendar, it is also a time management and scheduling application, and is the default calendar app for Mac OS, iOS, and iPad OS devices. It allows users to manage their events, appointments, and reminders with seamless integration across Apple devices. Now, all you have to do is click the sign in button, and you would be forwarded to the sign in page. If you don't have an Apple account yet, this is the perfect time for you to create one. Just click this button right here, and all you have to do is provide all the information needed. All right, your phone number, of course, your email, and from here, just click on continue. Once you are inside the iCloud Calendar or Apple Calendar interface, you would notice that the key features is going to be the event creation and management. All right, you have this this is going to be the Apple Calendar and the Apple Mail. All right, you have, if you click this, you might want to put in another one here. All right, you can put in home, edit calendar for work. If you do that, you should be able to, for example, let's say this and rename this instead of TikTok. Maybe let's try to do this right here. You can go to the upper right corner where you can see the plus icon. If you wanted to add an event, location, or video call, right here, you can set the date, the invitees here if you want. This is particularly helpful if you're working with multiple freelancers or your client if you want to go run through an update. All right, you can put them here. And if you wanted to put an attachment as well, all right? Similarly, in the URL and notes, you can also add that. And by clicking the add button, you should be able to create a first event here. All right. Now, the good thing about Apple Calendar, iCloud Calendar is the Siri integration. You can create events or reminders using voice commands through Siri. For example, hey, Siri, schedule a meeting at 2 p.m. tomorrow. All right. And Siri will do all the work for you. It's very easy. And of course, the shared calendars with others for group coordination, whether for family or work or event planning. You can set permissions for view only or editing access for shared calendars. And in terms of the event invitation, you can invite people to events and track like RSVPs. You can add details like time, location, and video conference via Zoom or FaceTime. It integrates well with the with the Apple contacts to automatically fill in email addresses, right? And obviously, one of the best features for iCloud Calendar is the integration with other Apple apps. If you hover down to the upper right corner, you have the Apple Mail, Apple Contacts, Apple Photos, Apple the Drive, Notes, Reminder, Pages, Numbers, Keynote. You have all these, all right? We are using both iCloud Calendar and Google Calendar because here in Dplat's YouTube channel, you see we are a group of individual freelancers and talented people that works behind the production. Now, some of the users uses Apple devices and some are using Android devices. So if we're on the mobile and on the go, we tend to create event for video calls using both for iCloud Calendar and of course for Google Calendar. Now you see, you might want to choose iCloud or Apple Calendar if you are embedded in the Apple ecosystem right here and want a native and simple and privacy-focused solution. The offline access is important and you prefer a clean, minimal interface. And last thing is if you want a seamless integration with Apple apps right here and like Siri and iCloud. And of course, you choose Google Calendar if you need a cloud-based calendar that works seamlessly across all platforms, especially if you use Android or Windows, especially if you rely on integrations with Google Workspace and third-party productivity tools. And again, if you use both Apple and Google services, you can sync Google Calendar with Apple Calendar for a unified experience across devices. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you in the next one.